What's going on, y'all? It's your girl DJ Heat, WPGC 95.5. Core DJs urging you to check out now, right this minute, FreshDailyInc.net. That's INC, FreshDailyInc.net. I stumbled because it's so hot, it's so fresh, because it's Fresh Daily Inc. Not Fresh Weekly, not Fresh Monthly, not Fresh Yearly. They give you Fresh Daily, FreshDailyInc.net. DJ Heat, I'm out.
Right, so this is a fresh interview with DJ Heat. He's in the building. Thank you for taking the time out to speak with us today.
Oh man, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
It's great.
For sure.
It's a great shopper, man.
Yeah,
right
we're up in cookiewear right now.
Nice.
So,
this place is hot.
yeah, got a lot of cool things in here.
Yeah.
All right, so just wanted to talk to Heat a little bit about her journey thus far to see kind of what challenges, triumphs, and things that you've encountered along the way.
Coming up in the business, it's weird because when people ask, especially being a female in a male-dominated industry, because you don't see many female DJs. Just like in any aspect of hip hop, you don't see many female rappers, you don't see many female graph artists, all the way around. So, but I think as far as challenges though, is actually somewhat of an advantage to be a female DJ, because DJing is something that you have to show and prove like right there. Like if somebody say you're a DJ, okay, let me see if you can you prove your skill right. Whereas with some female rappers who have caught flat, you might hear the same thing, the same issues that you hear when it comes to female rappers. Oh, this rapper, she doesn't write her lyrics, so she's been made up. Or this female rapper's too high maintenance, oh, why they always gotta talk about sex, and then the ones that don't talk about sex, like why they so so and angry and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's female hip hop artists face so much, and I'm kind of glad I'm not a rapper.
Right.
But as a DJ, it's been like, oh wow, you're a female, you DJ, like that's cool, that's hot. Or especially like sometimes if I'm out in an event and somebody hears the music and they come close to it, a DJ, it's a girl spinning, like what? So as far as challenges, it hasn't been like that many. I guess it's been somewhat, like I said, an advantage being a female, because with DJing is all about strictly about skill. You can't fake it. I can't have somebody pretending to DJ for me. Like how some rappers, somebody can write your lyrics, but as a DJ, can't nobody, I can't be back there, but somebody else is in the background doing everything.
Exactly. So does it bother you when they use the term female DJ versus just saying DJ?
Nah, it doesn't bother me at all. I know some people get, bothered by the term, but it makes you stand out, and it makes people listen more and perk their ears up a little more. I'm not going to get mad. Like I do the same thing. If I find out somebody is a female, let me check them out, because we all gotta support women. We need support in every aspect of life that we do. We have to support each other. So if it stands out like, this person is a female, okay, let me check them out. Let me show some love.
That's what's up. All right, so congrats on getting DC DJ of the Year.
Oh, thank you.
How's that affected what you're doing right now?
Oh man, it made me realize it was that I guess a lot more people like me than I thought. Because I had been nominated before. I was nominated last year for Female DJ of the Year, and I didn't win. And to get nominated again, I'm like, okay, somebody likes me. The people are speaking, because I keep getting nominated for this award and being the only female nominated for this award as well. And so to finally win, it was amazing, because I felt like I did work hard, leading up to that point. Like I've done a lot, I was out there a lot more. I've really grinded and continue to grind, and to even see fellow DJs, support me as well, not just in DC, but people congratulate me like across the country. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah, and it's like, wow, like y'all really like me, type of thing. So it's cool. It's great. Shout out to the Fab Empire, DC Fab, that holds the awards every year, man. It was such a great and beautiful thing.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
All right, so let's talk about the radio. What is your opinion of the industry right now?
The radio industry is tough. That's what I tell people, especially younger people, that come up to me wanting advice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough commercial. Let me break it up. Like
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could say commercial, aka terrestrial radio,
Mm-hmm.
which is what we hear in the car, AM, FM.
Right.
It's a real tough industry right now because there's so much competition. Not just competition from other radio stations, but people now. We have iPods, you have XM radio, you have other options where you can listen to something.
Right.
Most people just listen. You can stream stuff on YouTube. So it's really tough that where I at this point I actually tell younger people to try to carve their own lane.
Right.
Because when you have internet radio now, where like I have an internet radio show as well, because I know I can't talk for an hour about a certain topic on regular radio. That's a big deal. But I have internet radio on the side, and a lot of other radio DJs they do podcasts and stuff like too. Like C the God from the Breakfast Club does a podcast. Peter Rosenberg, Hot 97, he has different stuff that he do. Even TV people, like it's like we understand in this industry that we can't say everything that we can say because it has to be about entertaining that person when they're in their car for that short ride where you're just going to work in the morning for an hour. We gotta try to hold your attention for an hour.
Right.
So it's tough. Like radio will always be my love and passion, but and another thing that I stress though, that from it just being tough, that you can't have that being the only thing that you do. Like if you notice, a lot of people that do radio, they don't just do radio. They have other side hustles and other things that they're going through.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
So I'm coming from an indie artist perspective. So would you say there is any necessity at this point for the indie artist to strive to get on FM, AM radio?
Nah, I tell indie artists, you go to radio last. I give them examples of some of the biggest artists right now, like Kendrick Lamar. Like, it wasn't radio that made Kendrick Lamar. It wasn't radio that made J. Cole. It wasn't radio that made Drake. Like, go to radio last. To make that your absolutely last stop. Like we knew of these artists before they got signed and before they got a radio single. So as an indie artist, if your focus is I want to get on the radio, then you're living in the past.
Yeah.
Like this isn't like Dream Girls where they was running to the station and happy to get on radio. This ain't Cadillac Records or the Jacksons. Like it's such an ancient thing. Yeah. It's an ancient concept if you think I have to go to the radio to become popular. But actually now radio is last. Right. Your first step should be conquering, the digital world and building things grassroots and building the movement. Because when these labels start looking and seeing like, okay, who has a movement? I have this label rep that hits me up so much. He really wants to sign somebody from DC next. Yeah. He was asking me like what's out there? Like they don't care about radio. They want to know who has a movement, who has their whole city and region and almost the country behind them, who has who's embracing SoundCloud, who's keeping their YouTube up to date, who's putting out video blogs. So they're not asking about who's on the radio. Nah, they know, the labels know, like radio is not the first aspect of breaking their artists as well.
It's great advice. I love the concept of the website you have, DumRappersNeedTeaching.com. Can you talk a little bit more about that? What inspired that?
Yeah, I'm always one to try to educate artists about things because I feel like the biggest mistakes that artists are making in this industry is just because they're not educating themselves, they're not picking up a book, they're not going to, industry websites. So since blogging is popular, I've always loved I'm an internet junkie, always seeing what's next and what's new, and I saw that there was a need for this. You have all these rap blogs, but who's really educating these artists at the same time that are going to these blogs? So that's why I was like, all right, dumb rappers need teaching. It's a phrase from a Biggie line. So not to dumb them down with the name, but it's like, hey, at the same time, y'all don't hear, y'all want to see, this latest interview, y'all trying to, see this new track, but at the same time, listen, let me give y'all some articles, some pieces that I write where y'all can educate yourselves. Even with the post, I put a little something called lessons learned at the end, so they can know. So that was the concept of that. I always, believe that artists should really truly educate themselves because we see all the time people with bad deals and they have issues and start complaining. It all comes from a lack of education.
I agree.
That's all.
What's one piece of advice you give to a rapper coming up?
One piece of advice I give to a rapper coming up. Again, like read. It's just so simple.
Yeah.
Just to you want to be part of an industry, but you're not learning anything about it. You can't just be a rapper. Like I said earlier, how you, a radio people, you just can't be a radio person. You can't just be a rapper. You have to know your business. You got to know what you're signing, so you won't be like Bobby Smurder, you know, with the biggest song, and then you cursing out your management.
Right, because you're not getting paid.
Right. I mean, I'm like, well, did you read? Did you educate yourself? Do you know that maybe, you know, the person signing, you know, your contract, she said, I didn't sign nothing. Well, maybe you did sign something that gave somebody power of attorney to sign everything for you. Stuff like that.
Right.
So just read, educate yourself on this business. It's real simple. That's how I did it. I love reading. I love, you know, I love, you know, the music industry. So I just wanted to know everything about it. That I just kept reading and educating myself.
Right. The education is very important.
Yeah, man.
Sure. So this is a big question both for major and indie artists. What's the best way to monetize your career at this point? We know record sales are at an all-time low. You know, how does the artist make money at this point?
Shoot, since the labels are taking a cut of everything, like, well, if you're independent, of course, trying to, you know, book these shows, you got your following. But even like merchandise, I'm great, you know, to see so many artists that are capitalizing off of their merchandise and setting up tables at these shows and having like cool things like hats and keychains, and that's your money. It may cost a certain amount to make, but you could like double that and get more money back from that. And you know, don't be afraid to, you know, put stuff for sale, because you know, hip hop wise, we're all about free.
Right.
But if you build that, you know, that grassroots following, you know, throw something on iTunes or have the physical merchandise, you know, the physical CDs at your shows, again, on your merch table, you know, sell your CD for $5. You're making your money back. You're making a profit regardless.
For sure. Right, so what's next for DJ Heat? Where can we find you? Both live, on the radio, online?
Yeah, man. Like, everywhere. I didn't give out my website. I guess the main way to find me is djheatdc.com. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook is all DJ Heat DC as well. Still, like, working hard on dumbRappersNeedTeaching.com. I was just working on it today before I got here. Officially offering music consulting services and artist development services for artists, because it's definitely needed. So you can hit me up through there, and still, you know, doing my thing behind the lenses as well, getting more heavy into video. I shot like 6 music videos. I still want to keep going. I just love music and hip hop so much that I just want to be involved in it all. So that's me.
I share the same feeling.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Cool.